Welcome YouTube, Jonathan here. I hope that my mic is working. Um, First of all, actually, I would want to say that this is very low tech, low studio quality. I've got one light, I got a background ring light. Definitely not the polished studio that I think a lot of other YouTubers are putting out. But this is number one. This is the very first live stream on YouTube. I'm just going to turn my air conditioner on. There we go. And yeah, we're gonna see who shows up. This is exciting for a lot of people. A lot of people don't know what my story is. Sorry, notification came in. We're gonna get into that tonight, mostly because of the very first live on YouTube. I've gone live quite a bit on Instagram. That was mostly last year. It's been a little while since I've done that. But so I'm gonna share my story, where I'm from, how I got into this field of helping couples, mostly for YouTube, for the benefit of you guys, because YouTube is a whole different beast. It's a brand new channel. The thing is, I got started as a couples therapist 10 years ago, and 6 years ago, my wife and I, we took our two daughters and pulled them out of school and decided to travel the world. And that was, gosh, back in 2018. And what was really funny back then was I was watching a lot of internet marketers, and they said, oh yeah, if you're a therapist, if you're a coach, just sell your services online, you'll make tons of money, clients will come, it'll be no problem, start a YouTube channel. So I got into this starting YouTube channel. That was my very first. So if you guys go back and see some of those old videos of mine on the YouTube channel, you're gonna laugh because they're hilarious. They were 2018 quality, so they were pretty terrible. But I had a lot of fun making them, and my heart has always been in YouTube. I've been a teacher, so I graduated university in 1999, and I moved to Japan. And my very first job was an English teacher, and so ever since I got my degree, went out into the work world, I was teaching people, and I think that's where my interest in YouTube came. And so when I, fast forward, became a marriage and family therapist, I'm like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, started uploading, didn't stay consistent. And my only regret, actually, in my entire social media journey and what I've accomplished on Instagram and what I'm doing over here on YouTube, my only regret is that I didn't start earlier. I didn't stick to it. Like, I should have just stayed, putting out a video every single day from 2018. Didn't. And then obviously it took years later before I finally, did anything productive over on Instagram, which is where I'm largely now. Like, that's where you guys know me now. Most of you guys know me. Anyway, I'm just going to open up my sparkling water. But yeah, that was the biggest lesson that I needed to learn, was to stay consistent, and just to continue to give to the world what you love, and which is where we find ourselves today. I deeply love the work I do as a couples therapist, as a relationship coach, all the stuff I do on Instagram. Whatever time I have left over, I love to put videos out here on YouTube. But this is a brand new beast. Obviously, YouTube Live, like, it's much different. And so, yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around and, being here to watch this fun journey. And, as much as you never know if you're speaking into the ether, I believe in the message, and I believe in consistently showing up. And my little channel on YouTube has grown in the last 6 months to 764 people are subscribing to my channel. So it's just super exciting to see the, just the fun and the growth and the journey. My YouTube videos are pretty basic, as my Instagram is. My Instagram is pretty basic too. It's basically just, post a B-roll footage, image of myself, short video, whatever it is, put a hook on there, and then write a caption. And it's been the captions in my Instagram reels that I pour my heart and soul. And, it's because of those captions, it's where I am today. I mean, I've grown quite a bit on Instagram to the point where, I would call myself a halfway decent content creator over on Instagram. But now the YouTube thing is totally different. Like, YouTube is now about making content and then polishing it. But again, as I told you guys, I'm a lazy content creator. Like, Instagram is easy for me, even though I think I probably do about 30 hours a week on Instagram, and unpaid. My channel's not monetized. I have no brand deals. I spend 30 hours a week either DMing with people, or just creating content, creating stories, just creating stuff. Mostly because and I'm seeing more people. It's amazing. There's like 3 people in this. I'm gonna post something on Instagram too, saying that I'm live right now. But I had no idea if people would show up tonight, so I'm so thankful that you guys did. But anyway, like the YouTube journey, it's a journey of creating content and putting more out into the world. And I guess I should tell you guys my why. I grew up in an extremely traumatic home. I've kind of drip fed this a little bit out on my Instagram. Abuse, neglect. My dad didn't feed me at one point for 3 days. I was 8 years old, like just crazy wacko shit. And but it was good. I never look back at my childhood with regret. I actually look back at it and say it forged me into who I am today. But it's interesting because I had survived both of my parents divorcing twice. So they divorced each other, then they both got remarried, both divorced. And like, just trauma and drama was so omnipresent in my childhood. When I became a couples therapist, I was like, I found my mission, I found my calling, which is to go and help people keep their marriages together, make sure that they feel chosen, cherished, connected, repair, save your relationship, overcome infidelity, trust issues, conflict. And so that's always been the mission. But I think probably the biggest thing about my skill as a couples therapist and why I got as good as I did was that hyper vigilance that I developed as a child. Because of that extremely traumatic childhood, I got really good at reading the room. And so when I'm working with a couple and I see the body language, and I've got a book coming out, it's coming out in November of next year. At least that's what the publisher said. In the book, I'm writing about the importance of body language with your spouse in your communication style, and you can see it and I can pick up on it. But I'm not unique. I mean, all of you guys can read the room. I just think a lot of people ignore their intuition, where I've never ignored my intuition because I had to. It was survival. If I ignored my, we train children to trust their feeling in their tummy. If I ignored that as a kid growing up, I didn't know what negative outcome it was going to mean for me. So that's where my skill as a couples therapist comes from, is that I read so much. I interpret, I read into things. My wife says I would have been a good analyst in the CIA because I pull in so much information. I constantly need to learn. Which is perhaps why I grew what I did on Instagram, because I learned how to work the algorithm. I learned how to reach out and connect people and get my content so that more people saw it, so that they could, that we could fulfill this mission of saving 1 million marriages. And so that's where my journey began as a child, moving into a couples therapist. Now, on that, going through that journey of saving those marriages and keeping couples alive and keeping relationships healthy, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about someone said to me the other day, they're like, Jonathan, I have no idea how you do this. because I sit with couples pain all day, every day. Like if I'm not writing about it in for Instagram and making videos about it here on YouTube, I'm sitting with people's pain all day long. But I never hold on to that. It's not something that I keep in my own nervous system and my own body. I pass that through because I'm just a conduit. I just help people communicate. That's all I've ever seen, because it's just what I did with my wife. And if I can take their language and their worldview and mix it up and then give it back to them so that I can teach you guys how to speak to one another, I know that you'll get your deepest desires fulfilled. And I think that's what marriage is all about. It's not about what you transactionally do for each other. And this is where so many coaches and therapists get it wrong, is they reduce relationships down to transactions. What I do for you, what you do for me, as opposed to flipping the script on that and just asking, how can I help you get what you want, and how can you help me get what I want? And it's a radically different approach, because you're asking people for your deepest desires. Now, your deepest desires are not more clothing, it's not more dishes done, it's not more expensive watches, it's not vacations, it's not bags, it's and it's not necessarily intimacy. See, all of those things that we do for one another, they all send a message to our partner. And that is what my entire Chosen Cherish method is all about. It's about how can I send that message, that deep identity level message that I'm going to teach you guys tonight. How can I send that message to my partner that they truly understand that I see them for how they want me to see them? So we all want to be, and I use men as an example, we all want to be seen in one particular way in the eyes of our partner. For a lot of men, they want to be seen as successful. A lot of men want to be seen as a good man. That's where the respect and admiration comes from. And it's also where intimacy comes from, because, and follow the breadcrumbs here for a second as I take a sip. If I can be intimate with you, if I can share a bed with you, I must like you. And wrap your head around that. So men constantly crave physical intimacy. They crave touch, they crave affection, they crave intimacy. And why is that? It's because it sends the message that they're a likable human being. A man that isn't getting that physical intimacy is not receiving that message on that day-to-day basis, that he's chosen, cherished, but more importantly, that he's likable. And I think that's why men struggle so much when they find them in a relationship where there's no intimacy, is because they're not getting that message affirmed to them. Now, a lot of women, I work with a lot of women that say have perimenopause, endometriosis, they can't be physically intimate. And that's why I coach them to send that message in a different way to their husband, that you are a good man, because if you can't do that physically through intimacy, you've got to use your language, your words, to affirm in his mind that you see him as that good man, that successful man, that man that's a good person, good in the community, good father, good husband. That's what men truly crave to hear. And it's most best delivered through that physical intimacy. Women, on the other hand, I tend not to talk a lot about what women think, because I actually am a man and I don't want to tell women what they think. But my experience is that a lot of women want to know that they are choosable, that they are the only woman that lives rent-free in their husband's or partner's mind. And it makes sense, because they say that men hold the key to marriage and women hold the key to intimacy or sex. If I use that word, I kind of try to keep things PG. But it's men that do the proposing for marriage, women that do the proposing for sex and intimacy. So it makes sense that women, from that innate biological place want to know that they're chosen. They get presented the ring. Why do men go down on one knee? Women get presented the ring. So they must be visible. There must be something about a woman that she's special, that a man would pick her. But not only does he pick her, she wants him to only pick her for the rest of his life, which is really important. It's how I live in my life. That's how I treat my wife. More importantly, it's what I preach over on Instagram. It's what I talk about. It's about picking only one woman, building a relationship bubble, or a bubble around your relationship where you're not engaging in friendships outside of your wife or your husband. Anyway, it's those two messages that I teach you guys in that entire Chosen and Cherished method. You become an investigator of your spouse's deepest desire about what they want to be seen as in your eyes. So I'll give you an example. My wife's name is Meredith. My name is Jonathan. I could talk about this one couple, Jonathan and Meredith. Jonathan, because he grew up in an ultra traumatic childhood and both his dad left and his stepdad left, he wants to know that he's not leavable. See, I don't suffer from good man syndrome or lack thereof. I don't suffer from defensiveness. I'll throw myself under the bus. I know I'm a good man. I'm an honest man. I believe in myself. That was the one good thing that my dad did. My dad beat me, but the one good thing that he did was he said, I always love you. Now, that's totally insane to say that your father could beat you, but then also say he loves you. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that my father always told me that I can be and accomplish whatever I put my mind to. And because of that, I never suffered from this shortcoming in my mind that I wasn't a good man, a good catch, a good anything. I've always believed in myself. But I was abandoned by virtually everyone in my life growing up. I was abandoned by my dad, my stepdad, my mother, because she basically chose my stepdad over me and didn't shelter me from any of the abuse. My sister bailed on me. So my entire, basically up until I met my wife, I never really felt like someone wouldn't leave me. I always just assumed people would come in my life and then leave. And so I carry over that deep childhood wound that I'm leavable. So what do you think that I want my wife to tell me every single day inside of our relationship? I want her to remind me that I'm stayable. So when I talk to you guys about what the Chosen and Cherished method is, tell you guys choose and cherish your partner. The way you do that is on that identity level by my wife telling me, I see you as a stayable man, a man that I would want to tether myself to, a man that I'm not going to leave. When she tells me that, that's how I feel chosen and cherished. It's so simple. My wife, on the other hand, blessing woman, amazing wife, the best mother in the world, has the most I have no patience for my kids. My wife has all the patience in the world, so they got a good mix of both of us. But bless her heart, she grew up with this deep wound, feeling like she's not good enough. Her father, in the entire time we've been married, I don't think has called her 5 times in 17 years. And we have their only 2 grandchildren. So there's a wound there that she holds over, that she's not important enough to be loved. And so imagine for a woman, and I'm sure half the women out there probably share the exact same wound that my wife shares. She walks around not feeling good enough. And so my job as her husband is every single day to remind her that she's good enough. I get accused by a lot of people saying, well, Jonathan, now you're just you want your wife to prop up your ego, you're going to prop up her ego. That's not what it's about. See, you guys got to understand, when you send that deep identity level message to your partner, as in you're a good man, you're a special woman, you're a stable man, you're a woman that I would choose, you're a woman that's good enough. A lot of men grow up with the good enough syndrome. So, his wife saying to him, you're good enough to stay, you're good, you're great who you are, all of that. These are the childhood wounds we carry over into adulthood, into our relationship, that we need our partner to affirm every single day. And this, I talk to you guys about the importance of sending the message that you are perfect the way you are, and it's through sending that identity level message that you choose and cherish them. And if there's anything that you guys take away from this right here, right now, is to go to your spouse and ask them, or go to your partner and ask them, and I'm sure you probably know what their childhood wound is. But if you ask them, what's going on for you inside of our marriage, what are you missing? You're going to do some investigation work. You're going to try and find out what they're deeply missing. And so they're probably going to come at you and complain about a lot of the things that you do. But then what you're going to do is you're going to reverse them, and you're going to say, okay, imagine I stopped not giving you what you wanted, and I started giving you what you wanted. This is the flip. I started giving you all the things that you wanted. What difference would that make in your life? This is the most important question, and they're going to give you the keys to the kingdom when they answer it, because they're going to say, I'll feel special, I'll feel heard. A lot of women will say, I'll feel seen. A lot of men will say, I'll feel respected, right? Well, then, after they've given you the keys to the kingdom and told you what they deeply want, seen, heard, respected, validated, liked, any of these, right? You're gonna tattoo this question on your arm. You're basically gonna walk around asking yourself, how can I show you that I respect you? So for all those women out there that are saying my husband's leaving, and I could probably read like my inbox tonight, which I'll do probably next week at the next live, if I don't go live on this weekend. But you could literally just ask them to share with you what is that deep wound that you want, and then flip that switch, offer them the difference, offer them the thing that they want. Simply ask them, what difference will it make in your life when you get it? And so for all these women, men included, all you've got to do is just simply ask them, how can I help you get what you want? How can I show you that you're respected? To come full circle. How can I show you that you're special? How can I show you that you are good enough? And the discipline and the repetition of sending that message to your partner is what keeps your partner in that relationship. And I can't stress this enough. And this is where I go back to my inbox. Like I get all these women that DM me saying my husband is leaving, and I'm thinking to myself, he's leaving because he hasn't heard from you that you like him and that he's a good man. Now, he may have done a shit ton of stuff that had hurt you, and that's for a totally different live video, whatever. But at the end of the day, we still need to find a way, if we're going to stay in that relationship, to send that message to our partner that we choose them, cherish them. And the way we do that is by sending them that identity level message. So remember that. If you guys have any questions about that, you're going to come over to Instagram and you're going to say, Jonathan, do you have any more conversation starters to help me identify what that identity level message is that my partner wants to hear about themselves? I've given you a bunch. For a lot of men, it's I want to be admired, I want to be respected, I want to be liked. This is the stuff that men want to hear. Ultimately, it all falls under the umbrella of I am a good man. For women, they want to feel special, they want to feel chosen, they want to feel seen, they want to feel validated. They want to know that they're a prize, that they're something to be cherished, they're something to be chosen out of a vast group of other women. They want to only be chosen by you and only live in your mind for eternity. So dial that in. Dial in that sending of those identity level messages, and that is how you send your message, that is how you remind your partner that you choose and cherish them every single day. My final pitch to you guys is, if you only had to tell your husband that you respect him, if you only had to tell your wife that she was good enough once in your entire relationship, then you must not be a parent. Because if you have children, you'll know with kids, you have to tell them that you love them, usually about 12 times before you've even had lunch. Now, why do we tell our kids that we love them as much as we do? Why do we kiss them on the forehead every single day? If you have college age kids, and they come home from Thanksgiving give? Why smother them with hugs and kisses all weekend long during the holidays? And you do that because you weren't able to do that in person for the last 4 months because they've been away at college. So now they're home for the holidays. It's hugs, kisses all day, every day for an entire weekend. It's because you're trying to send your children the message that they are lovable. It's all identity. Like if I could, and I am writing a book, but if I wrote a book, it's all about identity. Send the right identity level message to your partner and they will never leave. You will repair any relationship on the planet when you start giving them that message that they deeply desire. That was a long talk. I think I almost spilled my water. Anyway, smash that thumbs up button just to let me know if you guys, if the sound came through. I know the tech setup was pretty, left a lot to be desired. I said to my wife before I came on here, I'm gonna get a studio going. I don't know where, I gotta figure something out in my house. But anyway, I just wanna say to you guys, while you're here on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe, follow me along on this journey as we continue to grow this channel. But more importantly, and this is the thing that I tell everyone on my regular YouTube videos, I'm going to tell you guys here 2 things. 1, if you have a relationship question, come on over to Instagram, send me a DM. I answer every single DM. I probably answered about 25,000 in the last year, and I just keep answering questions, ask any question you want. You get me, there's no one else answering my DMs. And I love nothing more than to just, be there for you guys and help you in any way I can. So don't hesitate to reach out and send me a DM. The other thing, which is really important too, where this will be the only self-plug, but I just launched the Chosen Cherished community over on School. And I'll probably put a link in the description here, or you can find a link in my bio on Instagram. If you guys are looking for monthly group coaching, we meet 5 times this month, but we're basically meeting every single month, 90-minute sessions with me. There's another coach that I'm working with that I've hired to come on and lead some of the calls with women, because I think I want to have some men's calls, I want some women's calls. Anyway, you guys are going to get a really intimate experience over in the monthly community. So if you want more support, you'll also find my 5-week program that I take every single one of my clients to, whether you're my monthly membership clients or you're my high ticket clients that I work with for one-on-ones for 3 months. Every single person goes through that program. You get access to that as well. So if you guys want to come, you can find the link in my bio. I'll put it in the description of this video. You can also find the link in my bio and Instagram. Aside from that, I just want to thank you guys so much for being here. Every single one of you, there was a bunch of you guys that came in. This is probably one of my most memorable experiences on YouTube because I had no idea what to expect. So thank you guys all so much. I love each and every one of you, and you guys are the reason why I do this. And I will see you again tomorrow, undoubtedly over on Instagram. And thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening. Bye now.